Okay, so the book that I chose to read for this project is Scarlet. The book is by Marissa Meyer. She was born February 19th, 1984. She's now 32 years old. She's from Tacoma, Washington. She graduated from Pacific Lutheran University. So the first novel in the Lunar Chronicles was Cinder, and it was released January 3rd, 2012. I chose to read this series because I like the fairy tale stories, and what she did was she took the fairy tales and twisted them into something new, so I found that really interesting, so I decided to read the books. So an overview of the book. So pretty much, Cinder, who is from the first book, she finds out that she is the lost lunar princess, and then Scarlet, she is trying to find her grandma. Everyone thinks the grandma's crazy and she just left. Scarlet knows something happened to her, so she goes looking for her. She finds out that she's been taken by the Lunar Warriors, and then it turns out that Scarlet's grandma actually helped Cinder escape to Earth from Luna when she was a baby. But then the grandma ends up dying, so Scarlet and Cinder meet up. They find out that they know each other because of her grandma, and then they just go off and just figure out what they're going to do next on their journey, and that's just pretty much how it ends. So major rhetorical movement in this story is illusions. The whole story is literally an illusion. So first, it says, she said, she'd even missed Scarlet's 18th birthday, though she'd bought the ingredients for Scarlet's favorite lemon cake the week before. So, in the Grimm Brothers' Little Red Riding Hood, when Little Red Riding Hood is going to her grandma's house, she's bringing her cake. There is a connection, like the cake. Next is, her grandmother's hands were soft, as if 3 weeks away from the farm had rubbed away years of calluses. Her grandmother's, and then this is another next quote, her grandmother's very wrinkled, very frail, very soft hands. The next, Scarlet was lost in warm brown eyes that had always been soothing and yet struck her as harsh now in the darkness of the theater. So in the Grimm Brothers story, when when Little Red Riding Hood finds her grandma, the wolf is dressed up as a grandma, and she's like, oh, what big hands you have, what big eyes you have. So that is referencing there because one of the lunar wolf warrior things is pretending to be the grandma. Next is, he was giving her teasing, droopy-eyed smile that hinted at a small dimple in one cheek. On page 172. And then the next one is, she wasn't interested in this man. She had no curiosity about why he was going to Paris. Page 174. And then lastly, he was only the Omega. He must have been left behind because he was too weak to join the battle. Page 379. So in the Grimm Brothers, once again, there's a second wolf, and Little Red Riding Hood knows not to talk to the wolf, but the wolf follows her home, and the grandma ends up tricking the wolf in order to save Little Red Riding Hood, and that's what is happening here. Scarlet meets a second wolf. She knows not to mess with him, and the grandmother then gets the wolf angry to try and save Scarlet, distract the wolf, and so Scarlet can leave. Okay, so next is, I of course want to do anything I can to assist with the search and ensure she is apprehended before she can do further damage. Page 228. Might I be able to expect any sort of reward for my assistance? Page 293. So this has to do with Cinderella, the Cinderella story. So the stepmother of Cinder is doing whatever she can to help get Cinder and just get her so she is killed. So this is like portraying the evil stepmom, referencing back to the evil stepmom in Cinderella. The next quote is, she is mine. Wolf is saying this, and in the Grimm Brothers story, the lumberjack comes and saves Scarlet, Little Red Riding Hood, and the grandma. So Wolf is the lumberjack coming and saving Scarlet and her grandma. Next is, the fighter's pale eyes darted to Scarlet, and for a moment she sensed a connection between them. Page 21. A surprised laugh tumbled out of her. Page 27. Scarlet found herself warming to the stranger of this anomaly. Page 28. So Scarlet doesn't know what wolf really is, but yet she's warming up to him just like Little Red Riding Hood did. She didn't know that the wolf was sinister and evil, but yet she had no problem trusting him. Lastly is Her Usual Red Hood, page 26. And, well, they call me Scarlet, yes, like the hair, page 28. So, obviously, Little Red Riding Hood's red cloak. Scarlet has a red sweatshirt that she wears throughout the book, and then her hair is red to even add to that. And lastly, connections between Fahrenheit 451 and Scarlet. Obviously, the main connection is illusions. They both use plenty of illusions. Other than that, though, there really is nothing that's similar about them. I guess they're both dystopian literature, but that was the whole point of this assignment. Futuristic. Obviously, Fahrenheit 451's future is a lot different than Scarlet's future. Futuristic, like, views. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching!